Hi, how's everybody doing today? I'm doing pretty well. Today we're going to make homemade caramel so that we can use it to top different things. You can use it to top your desserts. You can put it on waffles or pancakes if you want. It's probably like the main thing. Or apple slices, also really good for dipping in your apple slices. It is fall. It's a good recipe to have on hand. So that's what we're making today is homemade caramel. It's time for another episode of Cooking with Kaitlin. That's me. Enjoy! Alright, got our saucepan set. I know it sounds like big, we're not making that much, but you want space for all your stirring. We have a cup of sugar. We've got on a low, medium heat. And we're going to be heating up our sugar until it melts. It'll take a little while, but that's okay. But what has everyone been up to? How have you been enjoying your fall? As it starts in your neck of the woods? What activities are you getting to engage in? I know stuff's a little different this year. But there's still ways to hold dear to the things we like to do. Still ways to celebrate, even if it's a little different, or a little on the smaller scale, or on a totally virtual scale. The caramel is good. I think we'll mainly use it for apples. Sean really likes eating apples. I think this will be good for him to dip in. Nice treat from just plain apples, which is what he usually does. Sometimes he puts peanut butter on them. The caramel will be good. We're just keeping an eye on it. It'll start clumping up. We're just making sure we stir it a couple times every minute so that nothing's burning. It's also why we have it on a medium-low heat to help us keep a better eye on it. And while I could have done this in one of my smaller pans, this is probably the better option because I want that room to be able to move when we add the other ingredients after we're done with it melting here on the stovetop. And it will at some point kind of like bubble up on me. And I want that little bit of space where maybe it won't bubble directly on my skin. Been able to watch any kind of scary movies as you get ready for Halloween, however you're doing it this year. Lots of good ones on the different streaming services we use. We don't have cable. We cut that, man, how many years now? I don't remember. At least 2, maybe 3? Sean would remember when we cut cable. I don't remember when we cut cable anymore. But yeah, we don't miss it. So much available on the streaming sites now. And then we also just straight up own plenty of like the Halloween-y and other festive, movies we want to watch. And I know other things would pause or they'd zoom you through it. I think it's helpful, especially if you've never done something like this before, to see how long it actually takes for this to happen. Because sometimes it can get frustrating when you don't know and you're doing it, you're like, shouldn't it be melting already? Shouldn't this have done this already? And I think stuff like this kind of helps where it's like, you know, realistically, this is how long it takes. So yeah, that's why I'm not pausing you guys, because sometimes I do with different steps, but with something like this, it's very tricky. Very important to know if you're going to actually do it. I know, you could just buy it. It's a way easier way. But there's something fun in the homemade. It's just delicious. Well, say I won't pause you. Maybe I will until it really starts clumping up, so you guys don't just tune out. But I'll let you know about how long. But we're kind of seeing that it takes a while for this process. That's really the point. Alright, it was about another 5 minutes, 4.5, 5 minutes. But you see it's starting to clump up. We're getting to that heat level. Yeah. You guys see? Like that. Where it's melting more. Still nice and controlled the way we want it to be. But this is where you really have to start watching it. I mean, you need to be watching it the whole time, but once it's clumping, it's where it really matters that you're stirring. It's melting, it's melting. Can you tell I've been watching all my Halloween movies? Nah, it's not super obvious. Alright, so this is where we're sticking with that arm strength. Kind of hand gripping stuff. Getting it nice and melted. Have to move something. Once we get it melted, we're going to remove it from heat. That means we're going to take it off the stove top to mix in our other few ingredients. Isn't chemistry amazing? Because that's what we're doing. The chemistry of baking. Remember that much. Heating something is when you change it so that it cannot be changed back if you absolutely have to. Yeah, I learned stuff in school, which is good, because I definitely taught for a number of years. Now for the job that requires me to use my brain regularly, as do I'm sure all of you. So good when things get retained. It's a nice feeling. And turn on the fan, because the burner at least is smelling a little smoky, and I'd appreciate not having to have the fire alarm on in the back. Because there's really no stopping this process till it's done at this point. Though I'm sure it would be an amusing thing to listen to if you're all super annoying at the same time. Like amusing for 15 seconds, and then like, why isn't anyone there to disable the fire alarm so that we don't have to hear it when we watch a video? Then you just mute me, and I'd understand. I know it seems melty. We need all the little bits to be melted down so that everything mixes in really well. You know, very technical method there. Just smushing the clumps. So that it melts faster. Sure, chefs around the world would be so proud. I'd be like, no, don't do that. I know you're thinking that almost looks like caramel, and it does. It's definitely where it gets that nice rich color from. A good bit of its taste. We have a few things left. Once we get these final few clumps off. Alright. Alright, so everything's pretty well melted. Do one thing. Get these last little bits. So we can get as much caramel as we can. Just about there, just about ready to move you guys, and this last little bit. Alright, moving on. Turn that. Alright, it is 6 tablespoons of temp butter. We're gonna mix it in there. It's about one right there. Very caramel. Helping it thicken up. Sorry, just getting ready for the next two things. Getting that really well mixed. Now the other ingredients pretty much solidify it. It's going to be cooler, so we want that butter and melted sugar as mixed as possible. So see, it's combining really well. It's good. Alright, doing half a cup of heavy cream. And then 1 teaspoon of sea salt. Alright, let's get that nicely combined. Okay. Again, real R's time. Alright, I'll check back in when we're done still. Alright, this is for just transparency. A few clumps that just hardened before I could get them all mixed in, so I put this back on low heat. Very low heat to just help them melt and blend in. So just letting you guys know that, and I'll check back in when they're fully done. Alright guys, it's all nicely melted. We're going to put it in a container, let it cool before use, otherwise it will burn very badly, and that would not be fun. It would not be a fall activity, unless you're one of your little like kind of serial killers like horror movie. But I don't recommend that.